So we will try to learn this word knows. एक word होता है जाना थी, एक है अभी जाना थी means know extremely well, almost experience it. That's what abhi janati word means. Karma bhihi, by actions, na is not, sah is he, badyate is bound. So here in this verse he's going to tell us that even though I take this birth and come and all that, I do actions like, Joe was saying that he comes as avatar, then he's doing action. But the actions don't taint him, number one. And number two, he has no desire for the fruit of action. These are the two main problems in Karma Yoga that we face day in and day out. We get attached to the results and we get tainted by the action. We think we are the doer. When you are not tainted, then you don't think you are the doer. That's what it means. And so he who knows me thus is not bound by his action. जो मुझे इस रूप में समझ लेता है ना, वो खुद भी कर्म बंधन से छूट जाता है. That's what the main thing he's saying. So now, we know that if we do an action without understanding the mechanics of action, the action will bind us very quickly. We will get attached to all kinds of things, to the fruit of action, to the action itself, and then living in the past, present, all that part comes in that, being tainted by action, So the reason he's saying this is because he's again defining Karma Yoga here, opening up Karma Yoga more and giving a definition that what actually Karma Yoga is, because we have to do the dedicated to God. एंड स्लोली ये दो चीज़ों से छूटना चाहिए हमें. और तो अगर हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, अच्छा ओके मैं कर्म योगा कर रही हूँ, आई हैव टू टेस्ट माई सेल्फ, एम आई डूइंग इन दीज मोड्स, डू आई स्टिल थिंक आई एम अ डूअर, देन आई हैव टू स्टिल वर्क ऑन इट माई सेल्फ एंड डू मोर like selfless activities, so purify my mind so that I go to that final understanding of being a non-doer. Because it's very easy to say non-doer, but actually doing it in that mode is difficult. We know that, right? Yeah, so हम लोग को intellectually समझ में भी आ जाता है, but हमारे actions don't represent that. That's what basically it is, And the second part is, again, we have to remember that he said that even though I take birth, but I am unborn. So at that Atma level, even मेरे को कुछ नहीं होने वाला. कुछ भी इधर हो संसार में, body को कुछ भी हो, mind को कुछ भी हो, and my real true nature, nothing has happened, It's all Leela. So these are the 2 points over here, mainly. And then I think I already gave that example, but I'll bring it back again over here about the non-doer and sometimes slightly different example, but gives the same meaning. That cloud and the sky, and we are looking at the clouds moving, and all of a sudden clouds are in the sky, right? So clouds are moving, and suppose if the sky starts thinking that I am moving too, problem can happen. So that's what it is, that if me in that real nature I start thinking that I'm doing, then that's what the problem happens, and I get more bound to it. So it's the same concept. He's just bringing it, personalizing it, and saying that he himself doesn't get tainted by action, and he has no attachment to the results, and whoever understands me in this way, वो भी कर्म बंधन से छूट जाएगा. Okay. Any question on this point? Okay, we can read. Who would like to read? Anil ji, you can read, and you can read the next one, Sheila ji. You can read. So Anil ji can do this one.
Actions do not taint me, nor I have any desire for the fruits of actions. He who knows me thus is not bound by his actions. The ever pure and the all full cannot be tainted, nor can it have any sense of imperfection which can germinate any desire. The Lord, the Self, declares here, actions do not taint me, nor have I any anxiety for the fruits of the actions. taint or desire can come only to an ego, which is the self functioning through a given mind and intellect. When the subtle body is tainted by desires and agitations, then the ego in it seems to be played upon by these two.
You know, मेरे में slightly different है. You're reading verse 14, right?
Yes,
Okay, it's all right. Continue.
this is better understood by the following analogy. The image of the sun reflected in a bowl of water is entirely dependent upon the condition of the water. The reflected sun is shaken when the water in the bowl is disturbed, and it appears to be dim when the water is muddy. Neither the dimness nor the agitation of the reflection have caused any change at all in the original object, the sun in the infinite heavens. Similarly, the ego suffers the evil tendencies and such other taints of the mind, and also gets disturbed due to the desires of the fruits of the actions. The self, in its pure conscious nature, is not at all affected by these delusory disturbances of its own reflection in the mental pool.
I think this is such a brilliant example, isn't it? That the sun is reflecting in the water, and so the image feels like helpless. जो water हिल रहा है तो image हिल रही है, water गंदा हो गया तो image गंदी दिख रही है, but actually sun को तो कुछ भी नहीं हुआ. तो वैसे ही हम लोग को भी लगता है कि ओ ये हो गया वो हो गया, पता नहीं क्या क्या हो गया दुनिया में. But even with COVID and all that, you know, I'm not saying that don't do anything, but we should not get overly disturbed about it. I think that's the point I'm trying to say, because it's just like it's a part of the nature that is happening. Nature is doing some correction stuff, and we have to just endure it. You know, that's all.
But is it also saying that it's all because of the ego, everything because of ego that all this happens?
ईगो में क्या होता है कि अच्छा ये इसमें अगर वो इमेज सोचने लगे ना कि हाय मुझे ये करना है, मुझे वो करना है, और मेरे को हो रहा है, वो ईगो है. सो हम लोग अगर इस संसार में निर्लिप्त होकर रहें तो फिर वो ईगो नहीं होगा ना. अगर इफ आई एम नॉट द डूअर एंड यू नो आई एम जस्ट हैपनिंग, क्रीड़ा हो रही है, कभी अच्छा कभी बुरा, ये वो रोलर कोस्टर वी आर राइडिंग, just enjoy the ride kind of thing. Moment I start thinking I'm separate from that, that's where the ego begins. That's how it is. So that's why they say the egoless person is the one who is happy. और अगर कोई हम लोग को कुछ बुरा भला बोलता है, समझो किसी ने बोला who gets hurt, ego is getting hurt, because in real nature में तो कुछ हुआ ही नहीं. And even forget about the आत्मा, okay? वैसे भी किसी को कुछ नहीं होता. अगर किसी ने बुरा बोला कि कोई somebody said that you are such a bad person, मैं थोड़ी बन जाऊंगी bad person. I am what I am, right? But my ego gets hurt.
And also, if you want to do away with the desires, you have to do away with the ego first, isn't it?
Because desire is because of the ego, because I feel I'm separate, and by getting, see, when थोड़ा desire का थोड़ा confusion लोगों को ये होता है कि does that mean कि मैं जीना ही छोड़ दूँ कुछ? No, all they are saying is enjoy it like a sport. If अगर तुम्हारे प्रारब्ध में कुछ है, पैसा है, गाड़ी है, वो you can enjoy. But do it. Two things they tell you to do. One is, know that it is temporary, and if you have got something, share it with everybody. Not because the whole world is one. That's why all this concept of donation, this, that has come, that, okay, I have some extra money, मैं hoard करीबी, why don't you do it in some good work? Yeah, sorry, what were you saying, Anilji?
And also be content with what is provided to you.
Yeah.
Because once you do away with ego, then you're not looking for more or
true.
For that.
True. So I think that whatever you are saying, they're all interconnected.
Yeah.
Like the way sometimes our acharya used to say कि कोई एक चीज को भी तुम ले लो ना, दूसरी चीजें अपने आप हो जाएगी. कि मेरे को ईगो खत्म करना है, or I want to be selfless work, all of them are interconnected. So that's why they say that by doing karma yoga में main क्या है? Find out your swadharma, dedicate it to God, do it very well, and don't get attached to the results. All of that will lead to everything that you're saying automatically. But उन्होंने ऐसे एक क्या बोलते हैं, एक फॉर्मूला दे दिया हमें, राइट? कृष्ण भगवान ने कि भाई ऐसा 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 करो, तुम पहुंच जाओगे वहां पे. सो
And the most important thing is once you dedicate your action to God, then ego disappears instantly.
right. That's why I
So
think,
that-
yeah, true. Somebody said that. That's why I think I mentioned that last time. It was such a great point that they said you will never win an argument with a bhakta. Bhakt will always say भगवान की मर्जी, कुछ भी हो जाएगा. तो तुम क्या आर्ग्यू करोगे उसके साथ? क्यों हुआ ये, ऐसा क्यों हुआ, बच्चे के साथ ऐसा क्यों हुआ, कि whatever, दुनिया में ऐसा क्यों हुआ, कोविड क्यों आया, वो भगवान की मर्जी. कितना सरेंडर हो गया वो तो एकदम, it's true. I thought this is a great point. I love that. Anything else? Can continue.
He who knows me thus, meaning the one who has renounced his identification with his limited ego and rediscovered himself to be none other than the self, is no more affected by the actions in the outer world. When the reflected sun understands that its real nature is that of the sun in the sky, thereafter the muddiness of the water or its disturbances can no longer affect it.
See, everything that you were saying came out in this paragraph. It's telling you the mechanism that why it will not get affected, because उसको पता चल गया. Or like these people who have near death experience, that's exactly what they experience. They say they go in that realm and they say, oh my God, यहाँ तो कोई कुछ problem ही नहीं है, everything is one, and it's just, and they come back and report that. So they have, इसको वैलिड कर रहे हैं, जो भी कृष्ण भगवान बोल रहे हैं वो लोग आके वैलिड करते हैं इसको. अभी जानाति का मीनिंग है नेक्स्ट में.
Abhijanati knows. Here the term knowing is used in its special connotation and in its traditional usage in the Vedantic literature. Ordinarily, knowing is the result of the knower come in contact with the known. Whenever we have known a thing, it is clear that we are no longer in any doubt about it. The term is borrowed from the ordinary workday world and used in its special connotation, meaning that when the self is rediscovered, the recognized during the subtlest moments of one's own deep meditations, we come to know the self as our own real nature, not as an object of knowledge separate from the knower in us. That's a long sentence.
Yeah, I know, and I'll if you nobody caught, I'll explain. But yeah, you can finish the paragraph and then we can discuss it.
Then there can be in us a state of understanding which is conducive and self-evident, that there shall be afterwards not even a trace of any doubt is indicated by the borrowed term knowing.
Okay, what he's talking about here, I know it's such a long sentence. When you read, it's like, oh, whoever doesn't have the book might be like totally confused, but if you have to read it several times, this is how it is. जो दुनिया में जो secular knowledge है ना, उसमें मैं यहाँ हूँ और वो knowledge वो है. So मेरे को वो कोई object की तरह सीखना पड़ता है, right? जितने भी subject हमने सीखे हैं, or anything that I know in this world, I know it like that. कि भाई this is the lamp and this is me. See the difference? But he's saying इसमें जो knowing है ना, वो एकदम opposite of उसके है. जब when I truly know, then I realize, oh, मैं ही हूँ सब कुछ. And let me go with an example, because ये थोड़ा ऐसे सुनने में difficult लगता है. It's like a drop of water. It's thinking I'm separate. Then it falls in the ocean. And it realizes, oh my God, मैं ही हूँ ये सब. H2O ही है सब कुछ. That's what it means. It realizes that self in me is the self everywhere. That's how they know. Means it's a subjective knowing. There's no object outside or something. Or space. Suppose if this room का space, कोई animation की तरह सोचो दिमाग में. This room space thinks, I'm separate. फिर जब दीवार टूट जाएगी ना, तो क्या होगा उस space को? All of a sudden you'll realize, अरे मैं तो एक ही हूँ. You know, I am this whole thing. सारे चांद सितारे वो सब मेरे में ही है. I know it sounds bizarre, right? We cannot imagine. But
That is what you said previously. We talked about that one who knows me, he will feel that way.
yeah, he will feel that way. And तभी उनको किसी से राग द्वेष नहीं होता है. Like, you know, हम लोग को कैसे, you know, this one is like that one is like that. You know, उनको ऐसा कुछ, they just find it like amusing almost. Like Swamiji used to say, life is a big comedy for the people who feel. Sorry, life is a tragedy for the people who feel, but comedy for the people who think. You know, like हम लोग जो upset हो जाते हैं ना कि ऐसे ऐसे क्यों behave कर रहे हो, comedy जैसा लगने लगेगा फिर. That's how it is, you know. They don't get disturbed, all the people who are self-realized. Because they know. So basically this paragraph is just telling you that this knowledge, abhi janati, when I know, janati तो सब जानते हैं ना, हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, जानता हूँ मैं, janati. Abhi janati means know it by experience, my own self. And that is the biggest difference in the gaining this knowledge. In the word they use in Vedanta, it is a subjective knowledge. That's why nobody else can give you on a platter and say like this. They will teach you the way, they will teach you the yoga, and then you have to go and experience it yourself. I mean, दुनिया में भी examples है. कोई जाके, you know, किसी ने Statue of Liberty कोई इंडिया से आया नहीं देखी है, हमको उसको कितना भी बता दें कि ऐसी होती है वैसी होती है, खुद को जाना पड़ेगा ना उसको देखने के लिए, एक्सपीरियंस करने के लिए. So वो भी एक एग्जाम्पल है. बट यहाँ पर तो उससे भी डीप है कि जो मैं ढूंढ रही हूँ वो पता चलता है वो मैं ही हूँ और वही सब कुछ है. Kind of that kind of language, you know.
आपने जो एग्जाम्पल दिया ना कमरे और स्पेस का,
हाँ.
that makes so much sense that once you realize that this room is part of this space, but it is all space, then it's not a room anymore.
True. और तब मैं रूम में रहते हुए भी अगर मुझे ये पता चल जाए तो I will not be disturbed.
Yeah.
है ना? So that's the main thing that he's telling you, that the people, and that's why there is a in Bhagavad Gita it said, I don't know whether we already did that verse. I think we did it in chapter 2, where Bhagwan says that the person who reaches that state, nothing can disturb it. You know, हम लोग तो ना, oh my God, ये हो गया वो हो गया, उसको कोई कुछ नहीं disturb कर सकता उसको.
Because all the disturbances come from desires.
Yes, and they are part of the nature, because in that true self, nothing has happened to you. And I think that I keep bringing the NDE people, because there are some people, you know, who are very handicapped in this life. You know, some had like mental handicap, some had physical handicap, some were very severely, even paralyzed people. The moment they went in that realm, they were not handicapped. You know, so that is just kind of this बोलते हैं ना पंच महाकोश जो हम लोग बंधे हुए हैं जिससे, उसमें सब कुछ हो रहा है. You know, in your true nature, nothing has happened. And I think another very, very good example that we all will relate to is the dream. जब मैं ड्रीम देख रही होती हूँ तो हम सबका ये एक्सपीरियंस है कि मेरे को ड्रीम बहुत रियल लगता है. You know, मेरे को अपने ड्रीम याद नहीं रहते, but I remember the last night I got 1 or 2 dreams. They were very disturbing, but when you wake up, within 2 minutes you're like, oh my God, just dream. I don't care about that, right? So, but when I was experiencing it, it looked so real. Same way, they tell us that, you know, the people who wake up to that state, उनको फिर disturb नहीं होता, just like we don't get disturbed by dreams.
In fact, you feel good then.
I know.
I always lose my car. It disappears. And then morning I get up and I say, boy.
Yeah, true.
I was going to give one example I heard from Staneshwarji about ego, and which relates to this in a different way. So he said, let's say you have a boundary of your house, and somebody is trying to break that boundary, and it starts to bother you. It is because you stretch your ego all the way to that wall. Because really it's not harming you at all. But even to that wall, you are attached.
True, true.
So you are stretching your ego as much as you can. So this is mine. But the opposite is that nothing is yours.
True.
So remove your boundary. And
Right.
that is the
You know, यहाँ पर कैलिफोर्निया में भी एक one time I had gone to some apartment complex long time ago when we were just here, and एक apartment में ना किसी ने बाहर लगा रखा था, anybody is welcome here in the apartment, you know. So ये क्या है? So हम लोग, you know, my boys were with me and all said, Mom, let's go and see. I'm like, कैसे किसी के घर में चले जाए? But it's telling you, let's open the door and see at least. तो हमने ऐसे थोड़ा दरवाजा खोला तो उसमें पूरा ऐसे श्राइन जैसा बना रखा था उसने, and he actually opened it to anybody who wanted to come in America. I mean, I thought that was so bold, but the guy must be totally relaxed कि कोई कुछ गड़बड़ नहीं करेगा. और बहुत सारी चीजें थी उसके अपार्टमेंट में, ऐसा नहीं कि एकदम खाली पड़ा था or something.
In fact, there's a group in San Diego. In fact, those two guys, they came to our house and they say for without reason, they just wanted to mix up and meet people.
Oh, I see.
That is their mission, of the group is to go and meet people.
Yeah, so I think there are examples who just look at the oneness and, they just function from that perspective. True. Okay. Anything else? Very interesting verses, right? I'm going to stop Bhagavad Gita here. If there is still something, we can take it up in the last half an hour for sure. And 20 minutes, we might be able to do one verse. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karava Vahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. So we finished verse 25 in your book. और उसमें 25 में ये उन्होंने बताया था कि Yamraj was still trying to give him some different gifts and all that, so he forgets about his third boon of asking, what happens after death and all. And he said that जो तेरे को संसार में मिलना मुश्किल है वो भी मैं तुझे दे देता हूँ, चलो, because वो हिल नहीं रहा था वो अपनी जगह से, तो और उसको प्रलोभन दिया, बोला कि तेरे को अप्सराई दे देता हूँ, तेरे को कार चैरियट सब दे देता हूँ, म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट, एंड एंड उसके पहले उन्होंने कहा था जितना चाहे उतना तू जी ले, सब कुछ दे दिया, जो मतलब वट एवर मटीरियली एनीबडी डिजायर्स, राइट, दैट्स वेयर वी वर. एंड नचिकेता ने बोला कि he didn't phase. Okay, so let's see what he says. I think he did say that just keep it to yourself. Did he already say that last verse mein?
So next one.
Next one, sorry. Acha, I got a little confused. Acha abhi bola nahi hai. Okay, so now Nachiketa answers. That's what it is in verse 26. So here is a verse in Sanskrit. Everybody has that verse, whoever has a book. Shvobhava martasya yat antaka etat sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha. Just jarayanti teja pe thoda dhyan dena. We will see what it is. Api sarvam jivitam alpam eva tataiva vahastava nritya gite. Shvobhava, ephemeral. So Shobhava is a very interesting word. Shva means tomorrow. So means जो कल तक रहे, एक मीनिंग है उसका शोभावा का, दूसरा मीनिंग है जो कल तक भी ना रहे, समथिंग टेम्पररी. आज मिला है कल चला जाएगा, भाव ये है इस वर्ड का. मर्तस्य ऑफ द मॉर्टल मैन. सो ये जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि हम लोग को, आपने सुना होगा, ये धरती को मृत्यु लोक बोलते हैं. तो किसी ने बोला कि तुम जब जहाँ इस संसार में पैदा होते हो ना, तो तुमको जॉब मिलेगा या नहीं, तुम्हारी शादी होगी कि नहीं, तुम्हारे बच्चे होंगे कि नहीं, ये मालूम नहीं. एक बात पक्का है, ऑल विल डाई. So it's like जो यहाँ आया वो जाएगा. या कृष्ण भगवान भी जो बॉडी से आए थे, बॉडी उनको त्यागनी पड़ी. राम भगवान भी, right? So it's like a known thing. इसलिए मृत्यु लोग बोलते हैं इसको. So that's the meaning, martasya. Yata is whatever there is. Means everything in this on this earth is like temporary. That's what basically he's saying. Antaka is O death, means यमराज का दूसरा नाम है अंतका. एवरीबडी नोज द वर्ड जो अंत ही कर दे सभी का. तो वो जैसे कि भगवत गीता में ना कृष्ण भगवान और अर्जुन जब बात करते हैं एक दूसरे से तो कैसे कैसे डिफरेंट वर्ड्स यूज करते हैं एड्रेस करने के लिए. यहाँ भी वही हो रहा है. उसको यमराज को वो अंत का बोल रहा है कि मतलब देयर इज अ सिंबलिज्म इन इट कि सबका अंत करने वाले तू. You are giving me, you are the one who will take it away from one day from us, you know. See how it is, the psychology over here. So Antaka is that, oh death, Yamaraj ka dusra naam. Etat is this, Sarva Indriyanam of all senses, Jarayanti, wear out, Tejaha, vigor. So yeah, Jarayanti Teja means जो हमारी इंद्रियां है ना वो भोग से वीक हो जाती हैं. बोलते हैं ना कि कितना कोई भोगेगा. इट डज नॉट हैव द लिमिटेड अनलिमिटेड कैपेसिटी टू इंडल्ज. एंड दैट रिमाइंड्स मी कि एक बार क्या हुआ कि एक मैं ह्यूस्टन में थे ना हम लोग पहले. और ह्यूस्टन इज अ बिगर सिटी. इट इज अबाउट 4 times बिगर देन सैन डिएगो, यू नो. सो देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ पीपल लाइक हु आर who donate money because the larger people, there are bigger businesses and all that. So this one man donated like millions of dollars to your university. So they interviewed him. How was this big heart that he donated all this money, you know? And he said, do you realize that I can only wear one suit? I can sit in one room at one time and I can eat 3 meals a day. I cannot do more than that. I thought it was such a profound statement that no matter how much you have, the indriyas have a limited thing that they can enjoy. And after a while, indriya get totally tired. And in fact, overindulgence causes it to kind of get destroyed. I mean, tej kam ho jata hai unka basically. We will see a little more in detail because it has some other connotation. Let me see the other words first. So, your Jarayanti Teja. Teja is vigor. Api is also. Sarvam is all. Jivitam, life. Alpam is short. Eva is indeed. Tava eva, thine alone. Vaha, horses. Tava, thy. Nritya Gite, dance and song. So basically what he's saying over here is that these things are very temporary. Whatever you have offered me, you know, they may कल तक रहे ना रहे ये पता नहीं है. परसों तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं रहेंगे. मतलब one day they are going to go. And चलो किसी ने बोला कि ठीक है you know जाने वाला है, अभी तो एंजॉय कर ले, right? लोग ऐसे बोलेंगे ना, दिया अभी तो एंजॉय कर ले. तो बोला उसमें जरयंती तेजा हो जाएगा. If I enjoy too much, I'm going to become weak. Because and like Swami ji is going to explain कि कोई किसी को अभी जो को गुलाब जामुन बहुत पसंद है, राइट? तो मैं इतना बड़ा वो लेके आती हूँ गुलाब जामुन का और जो को कहती हूँ, जो यू ईट फ्रॉम मॉर्निंग टू इवनिंग दिस गुलाब जामुन. आफ्टर अबाउट 4th or 5th one, Joe will say, enough, take your gulab jamun back. You know, there is no way that, you know, so that's what it is, that there's a limit to thing. And then if you overindulge, and, you know, Tejo Menon-ji is very funny. He said, you know, कि कितनी चीज़ें हैं, you know, eatable, smokeable, drinkable, जितना उसको लोग ज़्यादा लेते हैं उतना वो ज़्यादा बीमार पड़ जाते हैं. So that's what he's saying. And then another thing is Jarayanti Teja में एक important point है. If you go and indulge, if you get the tendency to indulge in your senses, it makes you do like not such good things. Means you get attached to it, and then you will compromise in your life. You know, compromise on a dharma, a virya, teja, yasha, he said. So basically, you know, all these things you compromise because you get attached to भोगने के लिए, you know, basically. So उसका अगर किसी ने बहुत कुछ दे दिया, डेंजर है. कि मैं ऐसे भोगी बन जाऊंगा और आई विल डिस्ट्रॉय माई लाइफ दैट वे. And then the other thing is that Tejo Menon ji brought out this point that तुम इतना इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, मिल तुमको बहुत थोड़ा रहा है, right? Because it's like इस संसार में you are, going after these worldly things, but it doesn't give you good return because, when you die, everything is gone. And while you are alive also, तुम उसको इतना नहीं भोग सकते हो because it will backfire on you. So those are the points he says. And then end में बोलता है कि, आप ही रख लीजिए इसको, मुझे नहीं चाहिए. So बोला कि on one hand, it's like such a, मतलब अरे इतना छोटा बच्चा ऐसा बोल रहा है, आप ही रख लो. मगर like one point is, गुरु बहुत खुश हो गया होगा जब उसने ऐसा बोला, because गुरु को पता चल गया कि ये तो एकदम असली स्टूडेंट है भाई. It's a test पूरा बराबर वो करता जा रहा है. So these are the points of this. Anything? And the one more joke that Tejo Menon ji bole ki, there is a communism, capitalism, this, that, but there is something called moreism, that humans are afflicted with this moreism. मुझे और चाहिए. तो बोला कि कुछ satisfy नहीं होता है. जिसको 1 million है उसको 5 million चाहिए, 5 million उसको 100 चाहिए, right? We kind of know that. Means basically saying जो human nature है ना, if you don't have a good discrimination, वो satisfy नहीं होता है. That's what he's telling. Then generally speaking, basically that's the point. Yeah. Okay, Sheila ji wanted to read, right? You have the book?
Yes. Everybody can listen me?
Yes.
Ephemeralities or death, these tend to decay the fire, vigor, or of all senses in man. Even the longest life is indeed short. Let thine alone be the chariot, the dance, and the music.
So one more point I wanted to bring is, even the longest life is indeed short. What he said, कि अगर किसी को ना बहुत लंबी उम्र भी दे दो ना, तो जब उसका टाइम आएगा जाने का, भी लगा नहीं मुझे नहीं जाना है. So हर एक, तो और ये भी एग्जाम्पल दिया था, that was such a good example, कि बोलो कि एक कोई दूसरे जानवरों का, जैसे कुत्ते की उम्र खाली 12-13 साल होती है, at the most 14 years, right? और अगर कुत्ते को कंपेयर करे, कुत्ता कंपेयर करता है हमारी ह्यूमन लाइफ, होता है ओ माय गॉड इसकी तो 100 साल की उम्र है, 75, चलो बोलो 80, 85, 90, ओ इसकी तो 90 है. तो बोलेगा नहीं, पर मेरे को तो ऐसा नहीं लग रहा है कि मेरी लाइफ बहुत लंबी है. ह्यूमन को कभी नहीं लगेगा. तो बोला कि अगर तुम कितना भी लंबा लाइफ दे दो, उसको तो ऐसा लगेगा कि छोटी है. दैट्स व्हाट इट मीन्स. मतलब उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है. ये आप जो दे रहे हो मुझे, ऐसा लगता है कि बहुत अच्छा दे रहे हो, बट नो, बिकॉज he started thinking about it,
Start? Okay. The patient has reacted well to the suggestion of Lord Death, who while acted as a psychiatrist. This is evident from the tone and the word of Nachiketa's answer. Moreover, the very argument hinted at by Nachiketa, based upon which he has come to same conclusion that the infinite sense objects have no eternal value, clearly shows that Nachiketa, though a boy, has lived a fruitful life of intelligent self-analysis and critical discrimination of men and things.
Okay, so here it says same conclusion that the finite sense objects. So finite is limited. Okay, so he's just saying that he has done a lot of thinking already. So basically हम लोग को hint दे रहे हैं कि to आत्मज्ञान को सचमुच समझने के लिए हमको थोड़ा चिंतन करना पड़ेगा. Because बोलते हैं ना कि we have to be एक वर्ड है मुमुक्षुत्वम, मुमुक्षु बोलते हैं उसको, that urgency of getting the Brahma Gyan, because all the things in the world are like so temporary, never satisfying. That's why. And he's already done that thinking. आगे पढ़िए.
Start? Okay. He characterizes truly all objects of the sense as finite and ephemeral, and hence his digest for them.
Disgust.
Discuss
okay, that's
further.
okay.
During his short life in the world, he has been living intensely, and in his discrimination, he has come to his wise conclusion that material objects, even if they be heavenly, are but delusory things, and so will not last long, even till tomorrow. Swaha Puha, which are uncertain in their existence even till tomorrow. Swa means tomorrow. Abhay means absence.
अभाव हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना
अभाव.
अभाव. सो
अभाव.
श्व,
अभाव.
सो वो इंग्लिश में लिखते हैं तो वो स्व जैसा लिखा है, बट एक्चुअली हम लोग हिंदी में बोलेंगे श्वः. श्वः, नॉट द स्वाहा, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट वन. वो स्वा, ये श्व. If you have a book, you will see how it's written in Sanskrit. श्वः is tomorrow. जो कल तक भी ना रहे या जो कल तक ही रहे, दोनों मीनिंग चलेगा इसमें, बट मीनिंग वही है, टेम्पररी. कुछ भी है तो इधर टेम्पररी है बेसिकली. Go ahead.
Again, not only the sense objects are in themselves finite, but to the meddle with them is so weakened that every instrument of our appreciation and enjoyment.
So one second. So here it says again, not only the sense objects are in themselves finite, but to meddle with them is to weaken the very instrument of our appreciation and enjoyment. मगर उसमें अगर तुम लोग इंडल्ज करोगे ना, हम लोग ने ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर लिया, तो it will be like, it will become weak. That's what it's saying. हाँ, पढ़िए.
Without the sense organs, the sense objects cannot influence our minds and produce therein any experience either of joy or sorrow. When the light of Nachiketa's discrimination comes to play fully upon them, it becomes clear that the disastrous sense objects themselves perishable would also hasten the deterioration of the sense organs. The first laddu may be sweet, but the fifth or may not be so sweet. The 12th laddu may be full of pains, and the 42nd one would be cruelty manifest. Such being the case, so thinking individual who has the courage of intellectual conviction to pursue only the path shown by his intellect will run after the material pleasure born of ephemeral objects, however glorious they may look for the time being.
So we discussed that, right? That if you indulge too much, it does not give you pleasure after a while. In fact, it makes it weak. And जिसने भी इस पे अच्छे से विचार किया होगा, उसको मतलब extra value नहीं देगा. You know, one of the things that I think one time Tejo Mehananji was explaining, जो संसार में जिसका जितना वैल्यू है ना उतना ही दो, उसको ऐसे एकदम बढ़ा चढ़ा के ज़्यादा रियलिटी मत दो. That's the main thing. ये नहीं कि सभी कुछ फेंक दो or something. That's not what they're saying. So, but give the right importance to it in the up to the right point it deserves. Don't give it too much. और यहाँ पर एक तरफ है ब्रह्म ज्ञान और दूसरी तरफ है ये सब चीज़ें. इसमें से वो चूज कर रहा है कि उसको क्या चाहिए, बिकॉज उसको ये चॉइस दी गई है इसके लिए. तो ही इज पुटिंग द वैल्यू की भाई उस ब्रह्म ज्ञान के कंपैरिजन में ये एकदम ठीक से नहीं लग रहा है मुझे. दैट्स व्हाट इट इज.
As to the offer made by Lord Death regarding the long span of life, Nachiketa has but a smile of understanding.
Disgust means मेरे को उसको अच्छा नहीं लगता है कि लॉन्ग लाइफ है ना, उसको ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट नहीं आया लॉन्ग लाइफ में. Yeah, that's
To
what it is.
Nachiketa's life in this embodiment, however long, is but fleeting. Far can a human mind ever come to feel any sense of complete satisfaction, however long he may succeed in living here on this globe. Whatever be the span of life allotted, there is, after all, a death lurking at the end of it all. And death is equally painful, whether it is today or 1,000 years afterward.
So there, Swami ji brought another point from that part of the verse, जिसमें मैंने बताया ना कि कितना भी उम्र दे दो किसी को, उसको कमी लगती है. Number that was, and he brought the point कि अगर कितनी भी लंबी उम्र दे दो उसको, अगर उसके पास ब्रह्म ज्ञान नहीं है तो उसको कोई चीज की कमी रहेगी. बोलते हैं ना कि यहाँ पर भी in the worldly sense there are so many people who have everything. जो वो यमराज देने की कोशिश कर रहा, there are people who got $1 billion and all that, लेकिन उनको भी sense of satisfaction नहीं लगता है खाली indulge करने में. They don't feel satisfied, and in the end death is coming. So we discussed that part. Last paragraph.
Okay. And has at the peak of his disgust born out of a right understanding, Nachiketa's cries, keep thou thy chariot, the dance and the music. One must be a true guru himself to realize the ocean of joy Lord Death must have felt at this seemingly outrageous explosion of the young boy. This declaration in its very vehemence unveiled the brilliant inner personality of this matured soul. Nachiketa. To a Nachiketa's like student, self-realization is immediate and sure.
So here he's just saying that जो मैंने बात बताई कि Swami ji put it this way, a true guru must be felt an ocean of joy with this seemingly outrageous explosion of the young boy. बोलते हैं ना, आप ही रख लो अपने पास, मुझे तो नहीं चाहिए बाबा. That was his expression. छोटा सा बच्चा बोल रहा है. Just keep it to yourself. And so he's saying that, and then another very interesting sentence is that he's saying it unveils a brilliant inner personality of his matured soul. So basically बोलते हैं ना कि एक छोटे बच्चा भी एक matured soul है, because in his journey of his other previous lives and all, उसने बहुत साधना कर ली होगी already, because इतना छोटा बच्चा में इतना वैराग्य आ गया. And we have seen India में हैं ऐसे बच्चे, छोटे वैरागी बच्चे. So and he's saying that this is the sentence when I was telling you that to Nachiketa, like student, self-realization is immediate and imperative. That's that word mumukshu, the one who thinks that मुझे अभी चाहिए ये. Like Kamla ji always says, no, that she wants to. So you have to become mumukshu. You have to become like Nachiketa then. Have that much value for it, willing to give up anything and everything. So Bhagwan bolte na, whatever you ask me, I give you, but you don't ask for moksha. He already said it in chapter 4 that people go after, because desires are very tempting and you get immediate results.
Wrong interpretation of Kamla's desires.
In what way?
This is not, I don't desire for worldly things.
No, you didn't understand what I said. That's not what I said. I think Meena ji can explain what I was saying. Oh, we cannot hear you.
She said that you desire for moksha. That's what she was saying.
I was just saying that you are desiring. आप बोलते हो ना हमेशा मेरे को जल्दी पहुंचना है वहाँ पे. That's what it means. Mumukshutva means the person who wants to go there fast. अभी चाहिए मुझे. That's what I was saying. आपने उल्टा.
Yeah, because
आप कहीं खाना तो नहीं बना रहे हो ना अभी? खाना बनाते सुन रहे हो तो उल्टा सुनना शुरू कर दिया आपने.
नहीं, मैं बिल्कुल धूप में लेट के सुन रही हूँ आपको. I'm doing sunbathing and listening to the talk.
अच्छा. So that's what I mean. That word is mumukshutva. So
yeah, but according to Paramahansa Yogananda, the search for God, you cannot wait for search for God. You have the urgency to get it now, today. that desire, when you have that desire, only then you can achieve to moksha.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
That's exactly what he's saying over here कि नचिकेता had that desire. So हम लोग का क्या प्रॉब्लम ये है कमला जी, हम लोग बोलते कुछ हैं. I'm not talking about just you, in general. So whenever I'm saying over here, it's like हम लोग को इतना desire है तो हमको क्यों नहीं मिल रहा है? Because हम लोग बोलते हैं लेकिन हम लोग वैसे काम वैसे नहीं करते हैं, इसके लिए हम लोग को नहीं मिलता है. अब नचिकेता को दिखा रहे हैं उसका कि उसको भी वो मिलने के पहले उसको कितनी परीक्षाएं देनी पड़ी बाबा, लेकिन वो टस से मस नहीं हुआ. हम लोग कभी कभी परीक्षा में एकदम घबरा जाते हैं एकदम, यू नो.
Yeah.
सो दैट्स व्हाट इट इज, दैट अगर सचमुच किसी को ऐसी डिजायर हो, अभी नचिकेता को थी, उसको ब्रह्म ज्ञान मिल गया. बाय द एंड ऑफ दिस सी यू विल सी दैट ही गॉट इट, बट व्हाट ही हैड टू गो थ्रू फॉर इट, you know, that's what it is. So this is what we'll just stop here. If anybody has any question about this particular verse or any concept here, we can take it up right now. Sheila ji.
Sometimes I really think like so greatness that India has such a pure soul in past, in our history, like Nachiketa, and then sometimes we think about Dhruv, the small boy.